Hello friends, myself Professor Vinod Pillai. Welcome to C programming session. In today's session, we'll be seeing how to do file IO operations in C, that's part 2. I hope so you have already seen my part 1 section in which I've explained what is the need of file IO, how to do minimum operations in files, that is how to create a new file, how to open the file, how to read and write from the files, and how to close the files. In that, I have shown an example how to do all these operations on an integer value to be stored into a file. Now comes the second part of the video. In this video, I'll be showing you what are the major data types to be stored into the files and how we can do with different types of functions available in the library. First and foremost, I do expect that you know file IO. Okay, so whenever we want to store some values into a secondary memory storage, we have to store it with the help of file IO in C programming. So data, instead of storing into the memory, will be transferring the data into secondary storage memory, that is hard disk. Now comes the questions that what different types of values to be stored, because as in C programming you'll be finding that I may deal with data of character data type, I may deal with string values, I may deal with float values, double values, integer values, and finally if I have data in structure format, then how can I store these all different data types into the files. Let's see with it with an example. I have created an example which I have shown all different types of data types to be stored and read from the files. Okay, first and foremost we'll be seeing how to store and read character values from the files. Let's see an example. First and foremost, I have created a structure. This is to show the structure also, so just for the time being we skip that part, and I have created all the variables: integer, float, character, character array, that's string, structure variables, and all. Okay, I have created two variables for each data types, that is ival is the value which I'll be getting from the value from the user, and that value will be stored into the file, and once I have stored the file into the file, that value will be read into an IREL. I for integer I am considering, similarly for float, similarly for character, similarly for string, and similarly for structure. Okay, so this is simple variable declaration section. As I have in the previous example I have explained my file IO part 1 that file fp, that is the star fp, is a pointer to the file which is a structure declared in std.h. So I hope so you know that. So all the variables has been declared. Let's start with the operations. First and foremost, how to read and write the character values. First and foremost, you have to open the file. So I open the file 1.txt in the write mode. So it will create a new file named 1.txt with a blank data. Okay, first and foremost I have to get value from the user, so I am asking user to enter the value. The value is stored in C value, which is a local variable of type character. So still the value is in the RAM, that is in the memory. It is not been sent into the secondary storage device. Now if you want to send a character value into a secondary storage device, then you have to use fputc. Fputc is a function which allows you to write data from a memory or from a variable to the secondary storage. How to do that? Fputc takes two arguments. One is C value, in which I am passing the variable name which is having the value. Suppose I am entering A as a value, A will be stored in C value. That C value I'm saying fputc, please transfer the C value into the fp. What is fp? Fp is currently pointing to 1.txt. My task is over, so I'm closing the file pointer. Finally, to check whether the work is done or not, I've again opened the file, but this time I'm opening in the read mode. Now to read the value, character value from the file, we have to use the function fgetc. Fgetc takes only single argument. It asks the file pointer which knows the information where the file it is. So I'm passing fp, so it says I know 1.txt, so fgetc will start reading from 1.getc. 1.txt will be read. It will read the single character and it will pass into CREL. CREL and C value are the character variables being declared by me. Finally, I am printing the value of the character. So it prints if suppose A is being entered, A writes into the file, closes the file, again opens the file in the read mode, again reads the character, that is again A is read into CREL, and I am printing the A value. So ultimately I should get A here. Again I am closing the file. Now comes this. So we understood how to do with character. Okay, now how to do with strings? Yes, it is quite possible that you can write the same thing in a loop by getting the length of the string and all those things, but there is some other options are also available. I'll be more sticking into other options because I hope so those who know fgetc and fputc, they can understand that we can get the string length, okay, while the character is not having the null. Okay, so null carry is not fine till now, the loop is continued, and we can do the same task. Fgetc function and fputc function can be repeatedly be called in the loops, and we can do the string operation. But what another options are available? There is another function, that is fprintf and fscanf. Similar to fgetc and fputc, fprintf and fscanf are the functions with the help of which we can work with different data types. I'm just showing for string. You can do the same fprintf and fscanf functions for double and float also. First, let me explain you for strings. So first and foremost, I am again opening the same file 1.txt in write mode. I am getting the value. Now the value is stored in str value. It is in the memory. I want to transfer it. Fprintf takes three arguments. First and foremost, in which file you want to write. So I am saying fp knows it. So that's 1.txt. What data type you want to write? %s, so indicating that it's a string value. What is the value? So I'm saying this variable knows it. So these three arguments I pass it simply writes the data into the file. Finally the task is over. I closes the file. Now comes again I have to read it. So again I have to open the file in the read mode. Now instead of fprintf, now I have to use fscanf. Fscanf, again the same three arguments you have to take, that is fp, from where you want to read, what data type you want to read, and where you want to store it. So previously I have stored the value in str value. strrel is a character array, or you can say a string type, which is ready to take the values. All the data is stored into it, and it is being printed. So if suppose I'm passing Ashok here, I'll be getting here also Ashok, or if suppose I pass Vinod Pillai here, I'll be getting the Vinod Pillai. Okay, so that is being clear now. Okay, we'll run all of the programs at a single time only. So at the last I'll be showing what is the output and all those things. Now comes how to read integer value. I hope so you have seen my previous video. In the previous I have shown how to work with the putw and getw, so I'll be not be repeating those codes here. Let's concentrate on structure value. This is much important. Many people are interested on how to write exactly the structure into the files. Okay, so first and foremost, to read and write the structure, you have to open again the files. A file is ready. Now second question comes, I want to get the values. So structure is there, structure variable is there. Previously, if you have seen at the top, I've created two structure variables, s value and srel. Both of them not having value. First and foremost, I have to enter the values into s value. Okay, so I'm asking printf scanf s value id, s value marks. Okay, so for if you not seen it, this is the structure, and it is having two variables, that is id and marks. I'm created two variables of that structure, that's struct student s value and srel. So when I say s s value dot id, so s values id will be entered, s values marks will be entered. Now comes how to write the data. There is a special function called fwrite. Now here you have to importantly understand this thing. Fwrite and fread are the functions to write a block of data, or you can say complete bytes. So fread and fwrite says I will write the data, I will not write some single structure or something. He is simply asking what block of data to be written. Okay, so whenever you are writing block of data, or you can say when you are working with bytes, it is better to open the file in the binary mode. Okay, so instead of simple write mode, you have to specify binary, and .dat file is preferred in the binary case. Okay, it is not compulsory, it is preferred one. So fwrite is the method I'm calling. Okay, fwrite says I want four arguments. First and foremost, who is having the values, give me the address of it. So I am say s value is the variables, address I am passing. What is the size of a single block? So I'm size of s value, I'm saying size of s value, so that is the size of single s value. How many such blocks are coming? So I'm saying currently I'm having only s value, so I'm passing 1, and third, where to write, that is fp. Now quite confusing, what is this 1 and all those things. I have not shown here, but in most probably by next video or something, I'll be showing how you can write a complete array into the file also. It is all same, so I have not shown here. If a request comes, I'll to put that also. That is with the help of fwrite, we can write complete array data in a single command. That is, instead of writing, if suppose our array is of 100, we don't have to call 100 times fwrite. Single fwrite function will work. How? I have to specify the array name, size of an array, and here instead of 1, what is the size of array? I have to specify. One single block takes this much space, he has to carry 100 spaces, so it will take according it will create according spaces and it will send the data. So this size is saying how many such data you are passing. In my current scenario, s value is a single variable, it's not an array, so I'm saying 1. Okay, I hope so you have understood. The task is over, I'm closing it. Finally, I want to read the data. Again, I open it in the read binary mode. Instead of fwrite, I'm saying fread. S value was having value, srel was empty, so I'm saying load all the values into srel. What is the size of srel? How much srels are ready? Only 1, because 1 has been written and I want to read 1 only. And finally, I'm printing the value of srel. Let's see the output, what it is coming. First and foremost, I compile it, I run it. So it's asking me the character value. If you remember, that's the first one we used to have it. Okay, so this is right now it is asking the value. So instead of a, I'll type something like suppose x. So it's showing it has written into the file and it has read and it's working. I got it. And now it's asking for string, so I say abc and it is also working. Now it is asking for structure, so I say 1 and 100 and it is also working. So we can say that all the data which we wanted, that is character, string or structure, we can read and write in from the file. I hope so you have cleared the queries regarding the file IO, that is to do different types of operation on different data types. If you still have any queries, you can comment on this video or you can email me, or you can find all the codes regarding to this particular tutorial from my blog vinodthebest.wordpress.com. Don't forget to subscribe my video. Thank you and have a nice day.